live with Millie.
Hi. I have
And
no type apparently at the moment.
although I think she's a huge ball of any, so
I was
just don't
sold
want
on
to.
an ISFJ. I don't know what kind of, sorry, magic is that?
I didn't call you an ISFJ.
No, but I mean like the other INTJ I know, he's like, you sound like my ISFJ mother. No, yeah, ESFJ mother. I'm like, the which part? Like seriously, dude, I don't sound like an ISFJ at all. So yeah.
Maybe they're dual, but not an ISFJ. So they're
Hmm?
dual being the ENTP. So
Well, the thing is that, as they said, I do sound NE, but it doesn't seem like I use TI a lot. I don't use TI at all, so it's like I'm
well, there's
either breaking the stereotypes and I'm some kind of mongrel type, but probably not. I just feel like I'm an ENFP or an FP, just some kind of stuff.
there are the two INTJs that you know. Do they both use TE?
Yes, they both use TE.
No.
They're actually quite okay there with RFI as well, but they're just like, you sound like my ISFJ mother. I'm like, stop. No, no, I don't sound like one.
Because I mean, anyway, we'll get into this in future. But maybe ENTPs can be Enneagram 7, and then the more into having fun. Anyhow, this is Victor's question. So, Millie, please tell us about your school history, what it was like at school from the earliest times, and then your work and career.
Oh, school. Oh my God, that's a lot of bullshit there. Like, okay, I was a really independent child in elementary school. I always went to school alone. I didn't need any escort from my parents. I took the bus alone. I lived like 4 miles away from my school in
What age?
suburbs.
What age did you go on the bus on your own?
7. Like
Uh,
I used to get up on time, just like wash myself, have the same routine, go to school. Doesn't matter what kind of like weather. Is it raining? Is it a thunderstorm? I would go there. I would sit in school. I would do my job properly, cleanly, and just like get out, go home, eat, have some fun, and then at night, at certain time, I would start doing my homework and do it all. Like I was really specific, structural, and like as well as I was like really bossy. I was always leading children and always being like, let's get back here, business. Or I was a bit different with sports though, because I wasn't really good at them. I neither sports nor dancing, like kinesthetic things, not really good. But I was good with arts. I had a good understanding. I was teaching a lot of children how to draw, how to write, and as well as from a really early age, I could actually read in my, you know how you read in your mind? You don't need to read vocally under your
yeah,
breath. I
yeah.
could read in my mind from like year 2, which when I was like 8 years old, when most of my classmates only started to learn that like year 3. And it was really like, yeah.
Yeah, I do that. I think they call it sub vocalization, and apparently, it's what stops people from reading quicker. But I actually like it because you learn the structure of how stuff sounds when you're reading it. It makes it better for writing dialogue because you know how stuff sounds because you're hearing it in your head.
Yeah, so pretty much. And it was really painful for me to get through that because all my classmates were blaming me that I was thinking I was better than them. I was like, guys, no, I just can't do that. That's all. That's like nothing really surprising. And I was really good at writing. I had really good reading skills, and maths wasn't a problem. I always could answer the question before it was finished. Actually, what was really surprising. And English, I could just understand it straight away after we started learning it in year 2 when I was 8. I was even
Okay.
helping my classmates to do the work.
So people like are thinking, whoa, that doesn't sound that much like an English accent. Where did you originally come from? Who are your parents? When did you move to England? Just
Me?
so people, yes, just so people can understand, have some context.
Okay, I'm not from UK. I am from Eastern Europe, from a little shabby country called Lithuania, and I'm from western part, which is the most rural one. Basically, I come from a really, really deep, dark village. Hello, people. Nice to meet you. So
Okay.
yeah, and my
What?
parents. Should I tell that? My parents. My dad is a construction worker. My mom is a dressmaker. That's all. And I have a brother and sister who are 5 and 3, I think.
And what age did you go to school in Lithuania?
When did I start going?
Yeah, did you
7.
ever attend? Right, so you've attended, so you did attend school in Lithuania.
Yes, all of my from elementary up to high school, up till the last year, I was in Lithuania.
Right. So can you tell us what school was like and what life was like in Lithuania before you came to the UK?
All right. Well, as I said, elementary school was everything was really good. I was a bossy, talented child. Everyone expected a lot from me. I was always pressured to be the best, and if I wasn't achieving the best results, I was always like, I'd say, my parents just didn't really appreciate if I did not achieve the best results, and I was like, you could do better. It's like 98 out of 100 isn't as good. Like, I know I'm not really proud of you for getting 80 out of 100 because you know, you're smarter, and like I used to be like, but dad, like I tried my best. Like I can't be at my best all the time. And yeah, I was really determined. I always wanted to be the first one. Always wanted to be the best one. But I was as well as friendly. I stood I stood for the underdog, especially if the children were being bullied. I'd be like, yeah, come over, bully, get with somebody your size. Like, come over here. Want to punch in your face? Yeah, come over, we'll deal with you. Yeah, this used to be my routine in elementary school. Then we moved to a bigger school with the same class because I stayed for a whole 12 years in school with the same people, pretty much the
Yeah.
basis. And it's just that through time, I started believing in myself less. I just started seeing my own flaws. So at school, when I knew I have good performance. It's just that I was too lazy sometimes to learn. I'd rather just sit on my ass and read some other book, which was not even required to be read, as long as it's exciting.
What kind of books did you read?
I was reading anything from fantasy to even Bible. I actually even read Bible a bit. Cider House Rules. I can't even remember the names, but those kind of quirky for older children books, the ones about life, the ones that are a bit like controversial, a bit be hated. Like,
Enid Blyton?
huh?
Enid Blyton?
No.
Oh.
I just can't remember, but I was like reading a lot of historical stuff as well. And I was into history and art, and I was like, I started getting into symbolism. Like, I started getting into art more strongly. And then I started seeking meaning in every single thing around me. I started seeking the symbolism meanings in what people do. And it was really weird because sometimes even those little stupid things actually made sense. And I was like, mind blown. And yeah, with school, my parents divorced when I was 14, so I started like letting go of my you know how you just do your best and later you see that it's not worth it anymore? Just let it go. So I started skipping school. I started not doing my homework. just like I just saw that teachers saw potential in me. That's why they didn't punish me for not putting in my best, because they didn't want to discourage me. So I was like, okay, why not using this as an opportunity just to be lazy? So it just went on like that, that I was like abusing my privilege of being a talented child and just like being, yeah, never mind. I'm just gonna not do it. They're gonna give me extra time because they know I can do it in the extra time then. Or I can
Do you
just
think,
tell them that, yeah.
yeah. So do you think that they just took the wrong approach with you? That if they'd have given you more encouragement, hey, Millie, this is really great. You're really going in, rather than saying you're better than this, where you're getting like you're not getting any. You wanted more gratitude, more praise. Would that have been better for you?
Well, I think I actually don't know, because yeah, it does feel good when you get praised, but I just didn't want to be that child that gets praised all the time. Like, probably would have been really painful to my classmates, because I think at some point there was a point where it just broke between me and them.
Oh, well, a good teacher shouldn't do it in front of the other children. They should just do it one to one.
Yeah, thing is that not all the teachers are good, and sometimes they just made the situation so awkward that my classmates started hating me. And they were like, why is she getting privileges? Why is she getting all the good words? Like, we hate you. We don't like how you're being treated. We don't like that the teacher likes you for whom you are. And I was like, guys, I can't really do much. Like, I can't really tell the teacher to like me or dislike me. Like, I would gladly share all of this, but I can't.
They should be taught this in teacher training college. That don't. They should be taught this.
There's no such things. Like, the teacher that taught us, teachers, they had really old methods. Their approaches were really, how to say, rusty and not trusty. I mean, rusty and, how to put it, they just didn't know the psychological intricacies of children and how you can trigger hate in them easily for other children. So with time, everyone was just like, oh yeah, it's just Millie. Oh yeah, it's her again. She's answering the questions. Let's just let her do her thing. And I was like, okay, if you don't like that, I can just stop.
I mean,
And
just a change in the structure though would have changed that. For instance, if they'd have had like different bands for like gifted children, then you would be in a higher band with other children at your level, and then there wouldn't have been the envy and the tall poppy syndrome and stuff. And in fact, you would have been competing against them just to stay at the same level as them. So just a change of the educational structure, which you get at secondary school, because at secondary school you do have the different streams, the different bands.
yeah,
Upper
where you
band,
can
middle band,
choose
and lower
levels
band.
as well.
Yeah, and they don't have that in American high school system, so they should do. So you said something there which was pivotal. What? How much of a big impact was your parents' divorce?
Well, at first I was like, yeah, at least they won't be arguing anymore, because it was really stressful to be around people who are almost beating each other. But later I started feeling financially that I was unstable. And I had to skip a lot of fun with classmates. And gradually I was just like, to be honest, I couldn't even afford some of the school supplies at some point. And I think it didn't really do any good influence. I just started like skipping school, as well as some kids got to know that I'm emotionally vulnerable. I started getting bullied. Like, I'm not saying it's just because my parents divorced, as well as I had other issues that kids started bullying me for. But it's just that I started letting go of a lot of stuff, and I just saw that they were not necessary. As well as my routine got disrupted, and I stopped doing homework. I just got shut off. I stopped caring.
Right. I always remind the audience, they don't need telling this, but they need reminding, that someone's external conditions, non-typological factors, someone's upbringing, someone's environment, can have a big effect on the way someone's type is expressed.
So yeah, and how to say, after my parents divorced, I started paying more attention to my moods, to my flaws, and how people accept me. And it's just like afterwards, it just went downhill. I did perform really well, actually, compared to the fact that I didn't do my homework. But the whole climate in school was getting bad.
What age were you?
I was like 15 when I started getting bullied really badly. Like I
And
was.
This
Yeah.
was still in Lithuania.
Yes, I said, as I said, I was in school all the time in Lithuania.
Oh,
So
right, okay.
the bullying was so bad that I actually was considering suicide, and I didn't know where to go, and my parents could not afford a psychologist. I didn't know there was a free psychologist support anywhere around Midnight Town. And the school psychologist, to be honest, I knew that lady and I wouldn't trust her. Like, I was a child still, but I knew that probably if I told her everything, probably she would blurt it to someone. Not mentioning the names, but she would just blurt, and I wouldn't like that.
Oh, yeah.
So I was left alone with brewing problem and sitting at home with the person who was depressed. So it wasn't my best years, but I did have a few friends at school who stuck for me until the bully stopped. And afterwards, we just split up and I was alone all the time. Well, in the last, let's jump now, because everything's sad and up until now. 2 years before finishing school, I started warming up to the thought of actually socializing with my classmates properly. I went to several parties, felt awkward in there, just left before everyone started even partying because I was like, everyone just hates me there, because it just seems so. And yeah, I just started feeling like, I don't know, maybe there's not much hate left. And the last 2 years, I started getting back onto the track. I tried doing homework, wasn't as good because I'm scatterbrained, but I finished school with quite okay grades. Actually, I did the best in both of the classes in my year in exams as well. And I got a diploma from my school for the best grades. And yeah. And
Which subjects?
Huh?
Which subjects for the best grades?
Well, I got the best grade in school with I was competitive about English with my ISFP friend. So we both got 100% in English exam.
Wow.
And I took arts exam, which I got 98 points out of 100 as well. No, yeah, 98, which was a 10, a highest grade. I only got 98 because I was late to submit it. I brought over the exam work an hour before the exam started. The teacher was like, okay, this piece is wonderful. I'm just going to cut you 2 points because you're really, really late. Because I was supposed to submit that 2 weeks before. And I was like, sorry, couldn't do much.
Have you got any artwork you can show us on camera?
The one that I actually drew, I don't, but I have some under my bed, so I'll try
Yes, here we go.
So I'll try to fish them out.
Excellent.
Some of them are quite old.
Right.
And some of them are just...
Right. I've locked the screen on your camera so that people can see.
So this is 3 years old, and I haven't finished it yet. But this is really, well, it's not really that intricate. It's just that it's really small. It's a work with a pen.
It shows very good technique.
Yeah, so pretty much I shadowed it, and I was like, I just couldn't finish. I just don't want to ruin it. It's just really precious to me.
Right. So if you bring it closer to the camera and then hold it quite still for a while, then it will adjust. So 1, 2, 3. Right. People will be able to pause that for themselves. Right. That's good. Right. So that's really good. Let's have a look at the.
Right.
In terms of content and technique, because that's how I judge art, is by how imaginative it is, and also by the technical ability.
Yeah, well, it just depends on the artist. Everyone varies. So sometimes I look at the technique when there's not much to see in the imagination. But sometimes some people just blow my mind because they're like, oh yeah, look, I worked out all the details here. I've got a history for it, and wait for it, imagination. And it's like, poof.
What do you think of H.R. Giger?
I don't know that person, I think. Sorry.
Well, I'll just reach for the H.R. Giger book that I have. I don't know if that's too rude for the camera.
Could you send me a link for that? Because I can't really see that.
Oh yeah, it would just be HR. I'll try and show. He was, unfortunately, because he died recently, a Swiss surrealist. Brilliant. So, well, yeah, I mean, people can look for H.R. Giger themselves. He did The Alien.
Oh, okay. Yeah, wow. Like, I don't exactly enjoy the dark style. It looks a bit like Chris Mars, but it's a bit cleaner. Yeah, it's actually good, really detailed.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is like his early stuff, he said it took ages to do because he used to do it with an airbrush.
Oh my god, like seriously. He doesn't really have a good eye for detail.
Apparently he was an engineer before he became an artist, and so it's possible he could have been an INTJ.
Could be. Oh yeah, and this is a thing I could explain now if you're asking about the drawings.
Yep.
This is not finished, but the whole idea is that you either eat or get eaten. So it's not finished, so I don't know if you can see it, but I can see it. This is a face of a girl that you can either imagine that she's wearing a monster as a helmet, as in you eat it, or you get eaten, as in she might be actually in the monster's mouth, so she might be eaten actually. It's so you either have to choose one.
If you angled the top a bit towards the camera, so if you sort of like went like that, yeah, that's better. And if you went away a little bit, if you went a little bit further away.
Further away, all right.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. And now if you go in really close, so that people can see the detail. Further, closer. Okay. I just thought if you go in really, really close, people can see the detail on the top bit.
There's actually not much of detail. It's just that there's supposed to be two lizards being in the horns. It's kind of like the whole helmet is like illusion. It's like something like I thought like looks like schizophrenia to me. It's two lizards coming out of here.
Right.
And they're the eyes part of the monster. Two lizards coming out of here. Then it's just like the hair of the girl here, like really weird cut. Hair like I just don't know how to explain it. I understand it myself. I see it, but it's like it's hard to express.
This is really good stuff. I want to see every single one that you consider good. Everyone you consider showable, I want to see.
I don't even have it that much of it, but like I don't even draw anymore. It's like sad, but it's true. Okay.
We can start a Kickstarter. We can get you get commissions. In fact, you can actually have that on DeviantArt.
Yeah, I do have a DeviantArt, and this is
wow.
I was copying a picture, and it was 3 in the morning, and I was like, I just did it my own twist. It's Sakai Tadetsugu, one of the I forgot what it's called in English. Oh yeah, retainer of one of the biggest Japanese daimyos, as known as warlords. He was looking after Tokugawa Ieyasu, but this is just my twist. It looks a bit how my friend said, looks homo, because all the colors and everything.
So do you speak Japanese?
No, I can just read some words. That's all. I don't speak Japanese.
Okay.
But yeah, this is one of the pictures I did, and this is like I was like colors, trying techniques.
How many pictures are in that book?
Not a lot. I just sketch, so I don't want to swear. I just sketch, and that's all. And I just don't even finish them.
Any ones that I'd love to see some more.
Well, this is on tracing paper. You can't really see, but it's a bird. It was supposed to be play with colors.
Right.
It just needs some kind of white background. It was supposed to be just play with colors, but I just didn't finish it.
Right. The ones that I really like are ones that are from the imagination, things that are not in the real world. So either that one or ones with really good technique.
Like the thing is that I don't have anything. Like I can show you random things that I did recently that I really like doing, and it's really easy, and it's meditational kind of. As well as I do weapon concepts, which are really untraditional. This is the head of a glaive.
Wow. It's just head of a what?
Head of a glaive, as in staff.
Oh, right.
It's really irregular. I know it has a lot of flaws. I just wanted to get down the whole design. It's really bad. Like, I don't even care about it. And yeah, not recently, like half a year ago, I started water marbling. So it's like, you can just put down a pen and start drawing whatever you see on it. This is just, you put down certain type of oil-based paints, and you just squish them around with a pen or with a stick, and then you get patterns, and you dip in piece of paper, and you just get these kind of things.
And then you can put them on school books. Yeah. Yeah, I always like those.
You relax into. And it just looks so cute. You can just use it as a background or something. Like every single thing. Like I don't really like this one. It's just too light. But this was just leftovers being catched. This was one of the first tries. It was really faint. But I just like how much you can just separate how they are big ones, they're tiny ones.
Right. Just for the moment, if we have a little pause, I'll let you know when the image gets better. Because at the moment the image, yeah, that's good enough that people can see that. That's very nice.
Yeah, and I think this is one of my favorites probably because of the colors.
Wow.
It's really relaxing. It's really like you could just get a good design by putting in no effort almost.
Right.
Well, this one is not.
What I can do with these is I can download the video and take some grabs. Put an album, millions of artwork.
No, I wouldn't really put these up because it's just too old. It's like a bit funny.
Okay.
Right.
What I'm gonna.
How I just broke the thing.
Oh no.
It's okay though. Okay, tracing paper.
So these HR Gigabooks are now. Oh, this is a microphone stand he did.
Oh, is it for Rammstein? Because I know he did one.
I think he called it Nubian Queen. Can you see that?
Yeah,
Oh,
that
wait.
was actually really pretty.
I'll just. Yeah. Yeah, he did all sculpture, all sorts of things. Absolutely, and so he designed the alien
Hmm.
from his. Well, you see, he had all the alien stuff before Alien because he called it his Biomechanoid series, and then he did stuff with. So yeah, he was a surrealist. I'm not going to say was. He is a surrealist. Rest in peace. So again, that's in
Hmm.
his museum. But yeah, all these little books are now quite cheap. I'm trying to try and get at the good stuff.
Hmm.
That's the camera there. There's one of his bullet babies.
That is weird.
Yeah, and the mic. I'll just
Hmm.
people have got the idea by now. Subscribe and join. I'll
Hmm.
I'll just remove that. People have got the idea, right? So what we got here is museum doors. Right, Giga.
Oh wow, that is a bit.
Let's. I'll just. I'll click on comments. Oh, that's a bit rude.
Yep.
What's he got here? This is.
These remind me of stuff like I've seen similar things being in one of my favorite comics. Like,
Well, he used to do. He used to do a lot of album covers, and so
I do remember some band. Can't remember how it's called. Not Avenged Sevenfold, but something that they used a really disgusting jacket for the CD, and I was like, I had nightmares for weeks when I was a child from that.
here's some good. So they say it's a little bit like Hieronymus Bosch.
Yes, yes, it is, but it's more. His is how to say. His is more modern.
Yeah.
His is like slicker, and Bosch is more like. It's not as smooth.
But Bosch is like really old though. I mean, how long ago was Bosch?
I think it was 1500s.
Yeah. And so this is of course.
Bullet Babies.
Yeah. But I love the attention to detail, and it is like the sort of thing. I think maybe INTJ for Giga, because he was an engineer, and this was unfortunately this version of Dune never got made.
Mm.
This was in 1975. This is Jodorowsky, I think maybe
Mm.
it was, and he was the conceptual artist for a Dune version that never got made. And of
Mm.
course, it later got made in 1984 by David Lynch. I think that was his name. But then that version never got made. And what else? We've got some versions there. And in fact, more Alien stuff. Oh, there's a funny one. What do you think of that?
It reminds me of Hellraiser.
Uh,
Jeez,
really?
yeah, I can tell my favorite comic writer and drawer was actually a Geiger fan. He had a lot of motifs from here. Like, how old is the book? How old are the pieces?
Oh wow.
67, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense because my favorite comic was like released from. It's really freaking old, probably 30 years old. But it's a really good one. So yeah, I can tell he had Geiger inspiration in there.
What I'll put that cable down. Is what I can do is I'll now that we've slightly digressed onto art, which I don't mind, we're going to go with
Slightly.
it. But
Slightly.
we're both NE types, and I love Giga. He's my favourite. But I also like Amanda Conner as well. So first things first. Right, got the watch page. So, at what age did you come to the UK?
When I was 19.
Right. Oh, did you do anything in between school and 19?
Yes, I was in Ireland and I was working as a babysitter, and that was like, I don't want to remember that at all. Please no.
Oh.
That was like bad. I don't want to remember that. It is a bit painful, very personal, and I've changed my position about some people in my life quite a lot, and I had to do a lot of really painful decisions apparently, which
Right.
still haunt me, and they're gonna haunt me for life.
Right. So when you came to the UK at 19.
Almost 2 years ago.
Right. What was the process of getting here like?
It was tedious and messy, and let's say I was running away from Ireland because I saw that my needs are I'm not gonna be met there. I don't have a lot of freedom in there, which was like the basis of my life and moving somewhere. And I just saw that people I live with, they weren't what I thought. So I was like, sorry, I can't put up with your bastardiness. I can't put up with you being a two-faced person. Sorry, no. As well as there was a lot of mental and emotional and a lot of mental pressure put on me. So I just couldn't put up with that. I think I developed depression at that time even. Because let's say I was constantly on the verge of like blowing up emotionally, and I was being actually triggered to do that by some people who wanted everyone to hate me, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna help you let people hate me. No, you asshole, no. So I was just like, I was putting up with that, and when I left, I was like, that was like that catharsis. I was like, steam went out of me, and I was like, finally, it's life.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah.
I'm gonna try to do something. I will try to share my Facebook screen without revealing too much information.
Good luck.
All right, but here we go. Let's see what you think of this. What do you think of that? That was done by Rod Lord in the early 80s.
Genuine people personality unit. I don't think it's possible to produce that thing.
Well, that's the thing, is he is a personality prototype, and he is a manically depressed robot.
Defocused temporal perception plate. Doesn't sound good.
You can see slightly into the future.
Well, I think a lot of people can see slightly into the future as well.
I like this bit where, how in the program, he said he has a brain the size of a planet. And so it says here, computer and bubble memory linked to 10,000 terabyte comp brain in hyperspace. But you see, the thing is, the way that when they did this diagram, they probably thought a terabyte was a lot, and now you can get like, I've got a 2 terabyte hard drive. So soon 10,000 terabytes won't seem that much. So I'm going to try and go on to the next image. Aha, this one, Millie. This is Giga, when he would have done. This would have been the Baron Harkonnen's castle in a version of Dune that never got made.
Mm.
So options. Can I make this bigger? Can I go full screen on this? Enter full screen. Will it actually make it full screen? So yeah, I mean that's a very good image. So what I can do is, if you talk some more, then I'll download these images, and then we can have a look at them in a bit, and then I can get your views on them. So so you moved to England at 19, and oh yes, you said something that made my ears prick up when you talked about freedom. What about freedom is most important to you?
Okay, about freedom is the point that I don't like having restrictions put on me. Restrictions don't feel nice, and how to say, you know, where you have to hit the point where you have to say stop. It's not like I'm gonna go overboard. It's just like being supervised is something that I have never really liked. Because, as I said, I grew up in a family and I was quite an autonomous child, independent. And having my freedom taken away is like saying, I don't trust you enough to let you go and do what you think. So, yeah, it's like freedom is essential, for me at least. Even though, like, I need my freedom, even though all I do is gonna be sit on my ass at home on my computer or just read a book, because that just feels nice. I need my civil rights, as they would say.
Yep. Your natural rights, as I would say.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think that Victor would say that I think he would say that SE and NE DOMs are the types that most value their freedom, because they're types that are. Are you an impulsive person?
It depends on the situations. If I trust myself in the situation, if I know that I'll do a good thing, yes, I'll be impulsive. If I don't know how to behave, if I don't know what's happening, I'll be as careful as I need to be, just to make sure that everything goes smoothly. So it's really, I'd say, situational.
Right. Yeah.
But I'd say if I know the person, and if I know that the person's not going to be mad at me for doing some weird stuff, I'd be like, yeah, yo, and I'll just smack some peanut butter in the face and be like, yeah, here, take it. Yeah, if I know that I won't get beaten up or something.
So if you know that you're not going to get beaten up, you will put peanut butter in someone's face.
Well, only, I'd say once in a decade probably, when I felt like being really naughty. Usually I don't do something that would ruin someone's face or clothing, because I know, like, if somebody did that to me, I'd be like, come over here, I'll smack your face. Seriously. So yeah, sorry, that was a bit expressive.
Yes, very expressive. I like it. Here am I saving the images. We've done that one. I could take the. I'll. What do you think of? Would you say you're an adaptable person?
I guess so. I'd say I got adaptive humor. If I see when the wave is changing, I just flow with it. And if if I wasn't preparing for that thing for ages and that did not get disrupted, let's say, if I planned something weeks and weeks and weeks in advance and it got disrupted, I'll be like, yeah, I planned. I don't usually plan, and you fucked up. I am mad. I'm not gonna be okay with that. But if that's something it's like, if I'm being spontaneous, I'm being full on spontaneous. But if I plan, I try to at least keep like a tiny bit of structure.
Right. So, do you think that you're quite an audacious person?
Hmm?
Do you think you're quite an audacious person?
I don't know what that word means.
Daring.
I actually don't. I'm
Right.
usually quite. If I don't know the people, I'm usually quite silent. I don't act like the devil's advocate. But if the person is close, I'll be nitpicking. I'll be asking them questions, and they're gonna feel dared. They might feel like I'm putting quite a dare for them sometimes.
Could you tell us? You don't need to say where you work, but if you tell us like some of the things involved and some of the stories, that kind of thing.
Okay, I'll be really open and I'll tell what frustrated me yesterday about that place the most.
Yep.
Which we serve food, which is on the higher end, and we serve brunch as well, which is English breakfast, and other stuff like eggs on toast, scrambled eggs, blah blah, that kind of jazz. And yesterday, I met a couple of customers who sat down already really pissed off and having this position that everything's gonna be bad and everything. Lady was rude. The man was okay. Like, he did understand that his woman was too rude to me and that I couldn't really do about the stuff that was happening. And she wanted to order gluten-free vegan breakfast, which is like, why'd you even go to a restaurant if you have that kind of requirement? Just eat at home, please. Like, seriously. Like, if I had these kind of requirements, I'd just be like cooking for myself and like just taking meals out and stuff like that. And she was like, yeah, could I get a vegan gluten-free breakfast without no toast? And yeah, could you give him my toast? And her tone was like, I was like, I just wanted to sit there on the ground, just get my head like this, and just be like, woman, do you understand? I'm a human being as well, and you're just being so rude that I want to cry now. It's like, I was just like wordless. I kept trying to explain to her what was happening, and she tried to explain to me something that I couldn't even understand. She even had an accent. She was clearly not English, not British.
Yeah.
So I just brought over her another menu, and she looked at me like I was the last person, like I was the most stupidest person on the earth when I brought her over a menu because I just couldn't understand what she meant. And I was like, in my mind, I was like, just how much more condescending can a person be than that? And in the end, I did take the order. It stressed me out so much. I put it wrong for her husband. And when I realized it was wrong, I was like, oh, sorry. If it's possible, I see you're upset about this. Would you like me to change it? It'll take about 5 minutes. Is that okay? He was like, no, just eat it already. I was like, okay, would you like any more drinks or anything? She was like, no. I was like, I was mortified so much. I was like, I just want to quit at this exact moment. Like, I meet a lot of nice people, but that lady was just, I was just afraid for my life.
Ah.
She seemed like to be one of those people that if you brought them over slightly overcooked toast, they'll make you feel like the worst person in the world and that you need to kill yourself. That's how I felt at that moment.
Wow.
But I had as well good moments. Like, I do remember how once I splattered some mayonnaise on some lady's bag, and one of our supervisors was passing by, and she, instead of making it a catastrophe, she made a joke. Oh yeah, sorry guys, we just kind of wanted to polish your bag, so let's just, clean it a bit with a napkin, it doesn't matter. If anything, we'll buy you another bag, sorry about this, but yeah. And this is our magician of the evening, Millie, and she made me like bow and everything. Well, I didn't bow because I was apologizing, it was just a joke. That I was a magician and I made she actually made it look really cool, and I was like, yeah, that's cool, I like that. As well as there are people, like, you come over to the table and you just feel welcome. They're really open, they're really friendly, and you're like, yeah, sweetheart, what can I get you? Like, could I get you like a large coffee instead of a small one? Because I just really like how you guys talk to me. It's like, if you make your server welcome, your server, believe me, that will be the best person you'll ever meet in a long time. That's the only thing I can tell.
Okay. Have you got any more artwork you can show us?
Sadly, but no. Oh yeah, as well as one thing. When I first started working at that place, I am one of the people that we opened the restaurant where I work at right now. We are the first staff to be there, and I was there from the very beginning. We even put every single table, every single teapot. We unpacked every single mug and everything. It's like magical. We witnessed something grow. And when I started working, I had that Indiana Jones styled hat. I could even show it, but it's just in my wardrobe. I'll be back in a second.
Excellent. Right. Right, so that is the...
It doesn't even match to my current clothing, but I'm just going to show it.
Okay.
This is the hat I wore to work for the first 2 weeks.
It's nice.
Yeah, and I got it fairly cheap from a really good shop. From quite an expensive shop. And every time I came to a table, everyone's like, can I touch it? Oh, that's so cool. Are you Indiana Jones? And that was like such a good conversation starter. I should actually wear that again. But yeah, it's just like, everyone was like, yeah, can I wear it? And I once actually, I was asking the customer how they would like their steak to be done. And they were like, can I have your hat? I was like, yeah, how would you like your hat to be done? And he started laughing. I was like, pink or well done.
Right. We have got some... So I'm still saving some images. When you left school in Lithuania, did you think of going to university?
Yeah, I was actually really determined of going to university. I'm going to come back, so it's just taking a gap year at the moment. Relaxing, chillaxing, getting drunk, I guess, until I can. Later, I won't be able to afford that because I'll be just a student.
Right. Which subject do you think you'll do at university?
Psychology, probably.
Ah. I hope I don't get cited.
Huh?
I hope I don't get cited.
Don't worry. I don't try to see how mentally deranged my friends are because I just gave up like many years ago. Because as I said, all of my friends have some kind of dysfunction around them. One of them has depression, the other has anxiety, low self-esteem, or just superiority complex. And I just know every single person has that, so let's just not start nitpicking on people.
Now, is Socionics big in Lithuania, given that it started there?
No, nobody knows that. Like, seriously, if you ask somebody about MBTI, probably 1 out of 20 people would say yes. Because there is a MBTI group in Lithuania, and some of them know Socionics and Enneagram, but really rarely all of it.
Right.
Yeah, and one of the INTJs I know is actually a Lithuanian dude.
Right. Okay. Millie, have you got enough time for another hangout on your hobbies and interests?
I don't know. If it's like 40 minutes long, I could do that, but if it's longer, I don't know.
Right.
Because,
Okay. Right. What I'll do is I'll show these images, and I'm trying to find another image at the same time. Were you able to do the Magic Eye pictures?
oh,
You know where?
you mean stereograms?
Yes.
Yes, I can. I love them.
Right. Ha 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 ha! I've got a treat for you. A Giga stereogram.
Okay. Ooh, okay. I'm digging this. Could be a bit deeper though. What is that thing over there? Oh my god. My mind is getting messed up at the moment. Like the first one and the last one I don't see really clearly. Like the middle I can see quite okay, but the first and the last one they just mess with my head.
I have to get the right amount of. Thing is, though, when I learned how to do these magic eyes by crossing my eyes, is that when I get tired, my eyes start crossing.
Thing is that for me, it's mostly just the middle that I can see probably. The rest of it just hurts.
Right. Right. I'm gonna show you these images. I'm just gonna resize it. I'm gonna try and find some images that I've got somewhere while you're having a look at that. Maybe you could comment on the technique and stuff.
All right. Well, how to say this looks quite. I can't really comment anything really technical from the art position. Like I just tell how it looks to me because I'm not really trained to be an artist. This one seems to have like an edge to it, but it's quite smoothly done. Doesn't have any rough textures, which is like good, but which is weird because usually I'm used to every kind of weird and alien-like pictures having rougher texture or something about them that makes them stand out. And this one is just like color is the same one as the background, as well as I can't really tell. Is it? It looks like a clock to me slightly, and as well as can't really determine what it actually is, like a clock or lock, lock. Oh my god, no. Weapon sort of, or a fragment from engine. Don't know. Seems to be something like a part from a really big painting, just a fragment, and yeah.
Right. Still trying to find a particular Giga picture. I did a sort of collage of one a few years ago. And right, I'll move on to the next one.
Okay. Again, it looks very clean, steel-like. I'd say surgical even to some point. Because every line is accurate. There's no such thing like double line. Very clean. Colors are clear cut. On like there's kind of like monochrome. Yeah, it is monochrome because there's no more colors than white, black, and white, black, and gray. And it's the detail work. It's not too much of it. There's like just points where the details are worked more, and there are places where the color works, the shadow. place, which is like looks quite nice because it makes it stand out.
Right.
The whole picture is a bit unsettling, you know. Has that feeling in looks to it that it's like someone getting their soul sucked out, or someone just being, how to say, something parasitic getting to someone.
Right. Just gonna do some more. I'm just copying some images
Okay.
across. So bear with me. So which Enneagram are you, or is the best fit? for you?
I am an Enneagram 6, and I get told I'm a 6 wing 7.
It made sense.
As well as I think I'm a 614, a sexual social instinct.
Right.
And I think I've been told I might be a 624 or 621 actually. Because I am attuned to wanting to people to like me. It's not that I'm gonna stop doing something and people don't like it, it's just I'm gonna adjust stuff. Or yeah, don't know how to explain that. But they said as you sound like a 2, 621.
Right. Okay. How do you think you fit the sexual instinct?
Well, I'm not really good in social situations where I have to be in a group. I'm better with people face to face, where I can give them my full undivided attention. And I don't know, I have a lot more to me than a 6 social or a 6 self-pres, because I say 6 sexuals are a bit more like they dress to impress, and they kind of like come off as being counter phobic, but they might still be phobic. But I use just some of the stuff that's my minuses just to make them my pluses.
Gotcha.
Like, I don't like looking vulnerable, just like an 8 does, but I'm not an 8. I'm not that inquisitive and outgoing and bossy. I'm just like, yeah, I don't like looking vulnerable, but I just roll with my stuff, and I don't mind when people do some other things. It's not like I'm gonna lash out on you if you say something to me. I don't like violence.
Right. I found a load of good images here. So a lot of amazing images. I'm copying them across, but I need to fill for a minute or two.
Mm-hmm.
So I just found a special folder of mine of my favorite Giga images, and I'm copying them across from a computer to another image, and so I'm now switching between different hangouts, and right. So now we've got to look at the different. Now, okay, this is the castle. So this would have been okay. That would have been the Baron's castle in an unmade version of Dune.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how well that shows up on screen. I've got a bit of a problem with the technology. I don't know how much is visible. Oh, there you are.
Actually, I played that game as a kid.
Ah, right.
Yeah, Battle for Arrakis. Yes, I have played that.
Right, because I have found some amazing images, but you see they're on a different computer, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting the best ones across. So there's not that many more to do, and I've got to be careful because the Dropbox is nearly full, and so I'm copying them across, and then I can. So, what do you think of that then? Of that castle?
Um, this time it's a bit grittier, but I guess it's because of the game. And I
Right.
see the detail on the ground, and I can't make it out. Is that human limbs, or is it just some kind of rocks, or just don't know,
I think
foundation,
it,
dead
it might,
bodies?
yeah, it might be. It might be human limbs. Uh,
It just looks really vague to the point you just start questioning, and then you're like, yeah, let's just leave it to the imagination.
yeah. Well, I'd sort of judge it as this is from the unconscious, and he dreamt, and actually it is believable that if you imagine someone who is a huge narcissist, they would maybe make a castle in the shape of them to like impose your power on someone.
They would definitely do that. Like, a narcissist would do anything to promote themselves. Any kind of way, bad or good, anything.
Oh no. Would they even like post a load of their YouTube videos in a ton of typology groups? Oh dear.
Maybe, who knows?
Right, so I've now copied that across to the Dropbox. Now I've got to move them across to the folder. And I've got to get the external screen on. So hopefully things don't break. Right, oh, so now I have, now I've got some other images before I can put them across. Okay, now I've confused myself. Right. HDMI. Right. Okay. So now I've got to find you again. Where have you gone?
I am here! Why can't you see me?
Now you're on the other screen. Now you're on the external monitor rather than on the laptop. Now I've got you moved back over there. Now we can look at this. Okay, this is a totally different side to me. This is like Amanda Connor.
Mm-hmm.
And she draws in this cartoony way. Now, what do you think of that?
Jesus Christ, those tits are really big. That's the first thing that I thought of. Brain, please no. Stop being
Well,
so homosexual.
Well, Amanda Connor is herself well proportioned, and she did want to have more sales by drawing Power Girl that way. And then this is some of the humor with her and her husband. I don't know if you can see that.
Jeez, come on, those balls.
And please stop messing with my globes. But just like the little things with the, just with the facial expressions, though, the way she does the eyebrows, the way she can convey emotion with the eyes, and then here, again, the emotion with the eyes.
Oh yeah, if you go back one page, she has the same haircut as I do.
The bob.
Yes, the bob. Almost exact meme, like I'm doing it right now.
Yeah. Right, and then this is this was on the front cover of the first issue. So she wanted to shift some issues of Power Girl. I like the balance between curves and muscle. A very tricky balance. Oh yes, and this is the Babel fish from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Right, I'm just gonna, and you can comment on that while I move across these images.
It's very, how to say, sharp looking pictures. a lot of edges, a lot of colors that clash. It just looks funny overall.
Right.
Stick one in your ear, you can instantly understand anything said to you in any form of language. The speech you hear decodes the brainwave matrix. That would be handy. Babelfish is small, yellow, leech-like, and probably the oddest thing in the universe. It feeds unconscious frequencies and excreting telepathically a matrix formed from the conscious frequencies and nerve signals picked up from the speech centers of the brain. Sounds intricate. Gotta admit that.
Right. Now we. Right now I've. Right, I'm just about there. Right. And we're right. Got it. Got all the images across. Right. Okay, this one. So this was the gun one. So now you can see it a bit better. What do you think of that?
First things first, what I saw was the mechanism that pushes out the children. The whole coil and everything. Looks painful.
Mm.
And the way the children nest in there, the edge, the corner that they make with their base to the inside of the Glock, it's just a bit. It's not how it's supposed to be standing. But yeah, it's not supposed to make sense. So,
Oh, so are you taking fault with the mechanism?
I'm just saying it just looks painful physically.
Yep. Now here's another weird one. What do you think of that?
911. We got a head of a visitor in the anaconda cage. Usual one, just bit off the head. My God.
I think it's supposed to be Jesus. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. It just looks a bit too gory to be Jesus. And
then we have. And then you've already done the stereogram, and that one.
Yes, and that one.
Here's another weird one. What do you think of that?
It reminds me of the ear structure a bit. The snail.
Mm.
Yeah, it reminds me of a snail as well because it's like a slug inside of a shell, and you know the whole thing, the whole face is like the face of a slug. I'm making a lot of sense.
So these are my criteria for art: imagination and technique.
Mm-hmm.
Because then it looks like no jokers come up with it. Like with a lot of modern art, I mean, they should do a test on people. Is this by a modern artist or is this by a joker? And you can actually can people tell the difference? And then this was from an album cover. What do you think of
that? First things first, what I thought is Men in Black. Was it a Russian band?
I don't know. It might have been a German one.
German. I can show you a picture that it reminds me of.
Yeah, go on.
Do you know Hellraiser?
Yeah, a little bit. I've seen the images of him. And do you know how to share screen?
Yep. Just a second. I'm just looking for that one.
Very good.
Like I do like Pinhead a lot, but can't remember what his name was. Butterball, yeah.
Yeah, so he said he used to have night terrors and dream all this stuff.
Who?
H.R. Giger. I think it stands for Hans Rudi Giger.
Could be.
And folks, people are thinking, oh, it's pronounced Geiger. Well, he actually wrote in the book that no, it's pronounced Giger, and because he was annoyed at Americans calling him Geiger when he won his Academy Award. And
say it here.
If you can see it. Right, I'm just going to click on your square so that the audience can see. Ah, yes. think that artist was influenced by Giger? Interesting.
Could be. It's Clive Barker
Ah,
who created these things. He was born in 1952. That is like roughly probably when Giger was already like alive for some time.
yeah. I think Giger might have been born. Well, he died at about 73,
Mm-hmm.
so probably born just before the end of World War Two, or well, during it. I'll put my mathematics right. Anyhow,
Oh,
because he
this
died a
one
few
is.
years ago.
Mm-hmm.
What
This
do you
one
think
is pleasant for the eye.
of-
It has that bluish tint. Kind of looks cold compared to most of his drawings. Um,
Do you
yeah,
like this one?
yeah. This one is actually really nice. This one is I like.
Right.
As well, again, there's not too much detail, so it doesn't take away your. It's just like every time you look at it, you find something new. You find some kind of
Yep.
little intricacy,
Yep.
but it's not too much for the eyes to handle. So you can just flow easily around, like in like just look around and not feel overwhelmed. Like it's a good one.
Yeah, I love it. I love all this. It's so. It's almost as if it goes straight into my unconscious, and it's like it reaches inside of me. I don't know how you experience something like this.
For me, it depends about the art.
Right. Okay, let's see the next one. What do you think of that one?
Oh, it's dark, grittier again. Again, there's like a little centerpiece that like drags your attention the most. It's not overwhelming as well. It's okay. That's
Right,
good.
okay.
I like the
Then we got.
transparency. Oh, again,
Ah, yes.
Butterball. Butterball again. Looks funny.
Like the cigarette.
Mm.
And then we got.
Oh. Looks quite painful.
What? A couple of them look like they look like the snoozing.
Yeah, they're sleeping. Oh, this looks so much like Chris Mars. Have you ever seen Chris Mars?
Nope.
I could show it to you if you'd like to.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll just we can if I keep it on that one, and then if I deselect my square, then we can compare it when you show Chris Mars.
All right, here.
Right. 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 I've clicked on your square, so people should be able to see that. Oh yeah, definitely similar color in that image.
The colors are not as similar. It's just that the whole thematics, the shapes, some of them look similar.
Yeah, it was in one of the earlier images where the colors look similar. You know, usually if you do a Google image, sometimes it will return a completely different image. And it just has the same shades in it.
Mm-hmm. And he had, can't remember, was it he who had the nightmares and schizophrenia or his brother? But this is what schizophrenic people see, what he draws.
Because Giga had night terrors.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So there's that one, and then the next one is what do you think of this?
Very flashy, organic, but dead at the same time. Quite painful. There's like, it looks like it has ribs. Looks like something like a mutilated human being would look like.
Then we got. How about this one?
Force fed, I guess. Like, looks weird. Oh yeah, yeah. If you just tilt it sideways, not side nose, but if you tilt her on the belly, I take it she's a machine. Then
Yeah, it's like you had
she's a
these like
motorcycle.
you had these like biomechanoid things.
Mhm.
Where and this was like the forerunner, and sort of like the alien was taken from this, and then we have the Arrakis worms. So again, for the version of Dune that never got made,
Mhm.
what do you think of them?
First thing that I see, it's the nails. It's kind of painful. It's like you start thinking, is this a mouth of a monster? Is this a valley? Or is this a path? How big is it? Where does it lead? And where is it exactly? Is it a mountaintop or something?
Right. Did I show this one before? I think I have.
Yes, you did.
Right. And then the close in detail.
Wow, looks a bit. Face looks oriental. Or is it just because he's fat and his eyes are closed?
I don't know.
I don't want to be racist, sorry. So yeah,
Then we got could be Hitler. I don't know.
I know, no. Yeah, it is Hitler because swastika.
Might be an album cover. I don't know. Then another.
Claude de Cologne.
What do you think of that?
At
See,
first
this
I
part-
thought, yeah.
Yeah, this part became the alien.
Yeah, I kind of can see that being like that. That's one hell of a long helmet that lady has. It's some really, really horrific ribs.
And this is the jockey. So this is proper production art for Alien.
Mhm.
Put it there you go. Alien, HR Giga 77, maybe the artwork was done. And then we got this was for The Tourist, a film called The Tourist.
Mhm. Looks creepy. Like, I think he was thinking of inflicting disgust with that picture because it actually did. You can imagine fingers, long ones, and with like those things. It's like, no. And palms instead of feet.
Yeah, hands, yeah. And then, what about this one?
I would say this is what would happen if emo, punk, steampunk, and Oriental fans had a child. It's like Egypty, Oriental, post-apocalyptic Star Wars thing, because like those little things in the front kind of look like Yoda.
All right.
Really ugly Yoda, because of this.
What do you think this one?
I'm confused. What the hell is that thing in the corner? It's like, what
that's
I'm
what I
doing
mean.
with my life.
A blue monkey in the in the corner.
Mm-hmm. But he's
Amazing.
like, the whole stare is like, what am I doing with my life? Becky, Why do I have 5 children?
Yeah, that's an old painting.
Mm.
The title of it escapes me. And then this is a statue that I like. And I wonder if the arms were done this big in order to support the weight of the sword.
Could be.
We're getting towards the end now of. I think we did that one. And then you'll like this. Okay, they're all the androids, and these are all the robots. All the famous robots.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got the 2 Crichtons arm in arm. You've got Crichton from Red Dwarf and Crichton from Buck Rogers, season 2. And you've got all sorts. You've even got a Cylon from Battlestar Galactica Mark II. One of the old. You've got Tweaky again. Buck Rogers. Tweaky. So people can pause that and look at that. You got Marvin there, who we're just seeing. Marvin, the paranoid android. Although he's not really paranoid, he's more depressed. Then we got the androids and things, and quite a few characters from Battlestar Galactica here. You got number 6, 7 of 9 there. So there we go. So this has been Ben and Millie's questions and crazy artwork hangout.
And some more off topic as well.
Well, it's there to sort of show. So you've not got any more drawings?
Huh?
You've not got any more drawings that you can show us? Because
I don't think so.
oh no, oh well, we have to end on that sour note of Millie's gold drawings, fantastic drawings. So maybe you can do some more. Maybe people leave comments. We want more Kickstarter campaign.
Well,
how much? What's your minimum commission? If someone paid you £50 for a drawing, would you do the drawing?
Well, duh. £50 would probably be a bit too much because I don't feel that good actually.
Okay, what about £10?
Well, for £10, I could do a sketch or something.
Would you be like Salvador Dali? You know what he used to do? He used to have these really expensive meals in restaurants, and he would do a drawing on the back of the check, knowing that they would never cash the check because they would want to keep the check with the doodle on it.
Oh, that's douchey. That's really douchey. My God.
But now those checks with the doodles on are worth far more than the actual amount. So everyone's a winner.
But like, still, for that moment, it was like really upsetting. What if he didn't make it? That's like, my God, why you do this?
What do you mean? What if he didn't make it?
What you mean when he was already famous?
Yeah. When he was already famous, yeah.
Okay, then. Well, fine.
When he was already hugely famous, he would do a doodle on the check. So and Jack Charlton used to never give any autographs out, but he would like give checks, and people wouldn't want to cash the check because they'd want to keep the autograph.
I don't know, if I got like a check for bloody $10,000, I'll be like, suck it, I'm just gonna cash it off. Just no.
Well, yeah, but you know, like, if it was a small check for like £10 and say it was by If you see, the thing is, usually someone who's really famous has a lot of money and they're not scrimping, but it was just like, it was quite poor. Anyhow, so is there anything else you want to say about your schooling and work history.
Work history. I don't know.
Right. Oh, just so the audience have an idea, how old are you? Are you about 21, 22?
I am 21 actually.
Right. Okay. Right then.
Kids don't do drugs and stay in school.
Right.
And don't succeed anyways. Bye bye.